Hello folks, welcome back. So this is the July update. So this year April we set a record of rain. Last year April we set a record of rain. These pipes behind me are the devices that I use to ground out the excessive ions, positive charge ions, and induce negative ionization into the sky. It's steel galvanized fence posts. You know what, come on, let's check it out. All right. So, steel galvanized fence posts, all connected to this wire right here. That's a grounding plate. All these pipes are connected to this grounding plate, which has this wire. You see how long it's been here, it's all overgrown. This wire goes over to grounding rods. 1, 2, 3 grounding rods. I thought I put 4 of them in there, it's been a while. And all those pipes are basically connected to the earth electrical ground. Alright? Those are 8 foot deep going in. So, you got steel galvanized fence posts connected to the earth electrical ground. And we also got these copper devices right here. Alright? Just a bunch of copper pipes. I think that's 1/4 inch thick. Doesn't need to be big. At the bottom, they all have, alright. They have caps on the bottom, and every one of them is welded to their own wire, which goes out to here. So there we have copper pipes and steel galvanized fence posts all connected to an earth electrical ground. That's how you get rid of the cause of the drought. Now let's talk. So this development, this stuff, the original device was called the Cloudbuster. It is set up by Dr. Wilhelm Reich. What he did was he took copper pipes. He took copper pipes and he connected them to large bodies of water, and that brought clouds and brought rain. That's what we knew back then. That's what we believed back then. That's what we saw. So why connect them to water? Okay, the lake, the large body of water, lays on the land. It makes massive connection with the land, and the water carries the electrical charge from the earth. Now, I didn't know that at first. I thought that water accumulated and pulled stuff out. I didn't know it was a negative charge that was doing it. Because if you run all these wires into a 5-gallon bucket of water and keep the water overflowing, then it will continue to do the same thing, because water molecules will absorb a charge. And right now there's predominantly positive ions in the sky, so the water pulls all the positive out, and you keep refreshing it with water. That's called the grounder. That's in my book. Now, based on the idea that it is pulling, that it's using a charge, like negative charge, I decided, all right, well, what happened? Oh no, here's a first experiment. So I decided to use the charge of the earth by putting all these springs, or all these pipes, in the mouth of an open spring. Had phenomenal results. A year later I did another experiment, and the pipes were not in the spring. They were about 100 feet away from the spring, which is also just below a waterfall. And it did not work near as good as it did when the pipes were in the mouth of the spring, as opposed to below the waterfall. So I started questioning, all right, what's going on, why? And then I saw that there is a break in the water, which led me to believe that the water is a wire that's carrying electrical charge from the earth to the pipes. So I was like, all right, if that's true, and it's using electrical charge from the earth, using water as wire to get the negative charge into the pipes, can't I just ground the pipes into the earth using grounding rods, like in house electrical grounding? Sure enough, it works. This is the first year that I have done it through grounding rods. All the previous times have been using water. So it turns out that it is the earth's negative charge going into these pipes that does get rid of the cause of the drought. Now, why copper and why steel galvanized fence posts? Okay, copper is predominantly more conductive to negative charge than these pipes. These pipes are steel galvanized fence posts which contain zinc. Zinc is the metal mineral that is most conductive to positive ions. Inside your car battery you've got two terminals. One's made out of zinc, one's made out of copper. And if you get those, you can turn a lemon into a battery to power a watch. It's a zinc rod and a copper rod. So we have copper and zinc. Now, they are both connected to a negative charge. That pipe is conductive to positive. So what that does is pulls positive ions out of the sky, the steel galvanized fence post. The copper is more conductive to negative, so that pulls out of the earth and shoots negative into the sky. So there it is. That's called the grounder. And another experiment I had with these is I connected them to the plug inside of the house, the round ground plug. A couple of different occasions. It did not work at this house, it did not work at that house, but it worked phenomenally in an apartment complex. Why? Because apartment complexes have better ground. The houses that I plugged them into only had 4-foot rods going into the ground. The apartment complexes have wires that surround the building and then go in, so it's just a magnificent ground. So the more ground you can get, the better charge you're going to get into these pipes and the more influence you're going to get out of the sky. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. Next subject. Google, tell me what date and time it is.
It is 11:52 a.m., the 6th of July, 2016.
All right, July 6, 2016. Now, at the end of this month, I'm changing residency and locations. This entire setup is going to be taken down. So I'm saying in August in Austin, Texas, we're not going to see any more of those puffy clouds after August in Texas. Unless I get the opportunity to connect this inside of an apartment complex, which has a really good ground. That's a possibility. I don't know, but look for the later videos. If I can do that, then I'll let you know. But here's your observation. As of August, there shouldn't be any more puffy clouds because I'm taking this down. So that's it. That's how you do it. That's how you get rid of the cause of the drought. My name is Dwayne Gardner. Tell somebody. Okay, take care.